I I really enjoyed PvPing.
I can see that. Like, who is this? You just harassed this
Um.
person.
Oh no, that's not even a lot.
You harassed this guy. Look at this guy. You know how many so many hits? You
Oh
should
no,
be.
that's not a lot. I promise you that's not a lot.
Jesus Christ. You need to be
I mean, literally
banned.
just turn the corner, you see the exact same amount of hits.
Jesus Christ. Who is this?
We're gonna get into the most iconic because every nation had a solid PvP base.
Three.
Actually, one second. I might just. No, I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna swap my skin just to make the memories come in.
You want to do that right now?
Yeah, sure. I'll go do that right now.
All right, go ahead.
Welcome back to the fourth episode. Is it fourth episode of the Nostalgia series featuring Vrovona,
Okay.
but can't have a Paragon Pokemon.
Yeah, like my man said here, this is the fourth installment of the After Ascended Revisited. I'll put the links to the first three videos in the description. You guys already know. Today we have a different tour guide like we do with every nation. Carl the Alien, and
Hey.
I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, man.
Alright, I'm pretty sure that everyone who watches this video was a V1 player at some point in their heart, so I'm sure they all know me. Scourge of the server, wears the dinosaur outfit, V1 Vrobro, and, Evo Logheck.
Oh, okay, so he's another Logheck, just like Insanable. But yeah, man, I'm really interested in Vrovona because Vrovona is kind of like the forgotten nation of all six of them. Not many people talk about it, but there's a lot of history. I hope I didn't.
Oh yes, there is 100% a lot of history here.
And I can, yeah, this is actually a really nice capital, man. I've never been to Vrovona, actually. I've seen it in a lot of videos. And, I mean, yeah, this looks really nice. I can see why people people in this nation have an obsession with McDonald's, because all the yellow and red.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the reason for that, actually, more had to do with a specific Paragon, who is Blanket. Or not Blanket, what was her name? I don't remember her name, but she had the Paragon class Red Maiden. I don't remember anything else about her. But yeah. So the first thing you need to know is the old signs are still here.
Yes.
A lot of these, I think it got changed at some point, a couple of them, but for the most part, yeah, the signs are here.
Yeah. Okay.
It just points you directions.
I recognize none of these towns. My only experience with Vrovona was a little market town near my little island, in Roreg Logh, like kind of on the border. So I literally have seen none of these towns. So this is gonna be my first time seeing Vrovona, the land of snow and ice.
Yep.
Very cold out here, kind of depressing.
Yes.
But it's a very niche environment. So if you like this kind of thing, this might be your place.
Oh, this was home. I just for starters, there used to be two towns here. This used to be the quote-unquote nation's garden, and the whole area here just had a bunch of farms.
Yeah.
And then there was another town on the other side that I don't really remember, but just thought I'd throw it in there.
Yeah, what's the reason? I'll let you tell them. What's the reason why a lot of these towns aren't here anymore?
So, and this is true across the server. A lot of reform was happening near the end of the server. A lot of issues, like within the community, were happening. The biggest problem being that Vorsk, the server owner at the time, was just not in the best position, and he just wanted something new, bigger, better, to try to revamp hype. Normally, like in V1, throughout most of the history of it, the server was always pretty packed. Even after, like, there was a point where they did the Jesse Cox video.
Yeah.
Known and coined as the Cox Plague because of all the players that just clogged the server.
So, one day I come in to find a couple of players complaining because a group of Rovonans, they came over to Ithero, all in Ronald McDonald skins, just to troll them and run around.
But then at some point it started to die down, and you know, you could have some nights where, like, normally at night it would be a little bit less people, but you always had close to server cap. At some point you were seeing like 70 people, and Roth decided time to change something up, and that was the server. Another big issue is when the HeroCraft players joined. That also killed a lot of vibes for people, which we'll get to in a bit. There's a specific story to tell there. Same as before with the farm area, this entire area got reset, and this specific corner is the location of that first screenshot I sent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can actually see the vines of the tree in the background there. This corner had one town here, which was actually a Roreg town, I think.
Wait,
and it was
Roreg?
a spy town. Yep. This corner had just a giant walled-off town.
And they were a part of Roreg Logh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah.
How does that even work?
One of the admins just let it happen, I don't know. There was this huge tower from back at the Grandma's House raid, which was a raid that happened with the Paragon. I don't remember her name, the one who had the Red Maiden. But yeah, there's like a giant... Actually, no, that's the giant tower, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, this. What is this? Then what is this then? Is this...
This is the tower I was referring to.
What is this a tool? What is...
Grandma's House raid. Good times.
So someone just griefed this?
No, someone built this during just like...
Jeez.
Yeah. This went up to the original build height.
Oh my god, like the amount of blocks and time it took to gather these materials. And like...
Oh no, this was literally just done casually while they were waiting. Yep.
This is crazy.
Yep.
Told you, Vrovona has a lot of interesting history.
It really does. It really does. We're gonna get to the most iconic Vrovona town, Fort Razriv.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a single player who's ever been to Vrovona who does not know this town.
Yeah, I remember this. I heard of this town. I literally never been to Vrovona. So
unfortunately, this isn't the original interior. I think Sanders redid most of this. I know Sanders expanded behind, but this original court area, this square, was the entire town at one point. And then there's, you know, the historical wheat field.
Oh my god, I remember.
Yes, this was.
This is crazy.
Yep.
Like
Sanders never once ate a piece of bread out of this field, ever.
So it was just here, just for no reason?
No, Sanders used to collect the bread and give it to people.
He wouldn't. I would be selling this. What are you talking? Like what? This is some gold mine.
I know. The biggest thing though is most of this wasn't even in his own town. He literally just had it here.
And he just expanded on it.
Yep.
Wow.
He just went and just did it.
And I remember hearing about this. Wasn't there one in Aloreh too?
There were a few wheat fields around that were pretty big, but this was the biggest one, and Sanders was iconic specifically for having the field and never eating bread out of it. A lot of this at the back here, like all this expanded stuff, is just stuff Sanders added. I lost.
Wait, this is still part of Fort Raz?
This is all part of Fort Raz. Sanders,
how many plots is
so
this?
He had thousands of plots. He had a couple, or I think it was like 2,000 or 3,000.
I thought the cap was 500.
Oh no! Back in the day, there was no cap.
Jesus Christ! This is all Fort
Raz. Sanders is actually, I think, the oldest current player and was one of the oldest players starting in V2. He joined. Like Sanders actually is the best person to go more in depth about all the old lore because he is 100% the person who has been here the longest.
Yeah, and I actually tried to get Sanders on, but he was he was busy.
These are two. I think these are two different towns now. I got to two different towns.
Jesus Christ! So this is not Fort Raz. I was about to say this is Fort Raz.
No, this is not Fort Razriv. I'll be honest with you. I never met the people who were here. I think at one point a player named Goddess Schmet was here.
Goddess Schmet. Yeah, I remember her.
Yeah. She ended up leaving actually. the day I did my first PvP session, she killed me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, we're gonna get into definitely that more because in lore, Vrovona was very much a like PvP oriented nation,
Yes,
militaristic and all
so
that stuff. And I
the
know that
way-
people kind of give that that label to Ithero, you know, like in game, but
yeah,
there's a lot. Like I feel like there's a lot of unknown and like underrated PvPers definitely here.
I'll be real. It's definitely not as much Ithero as it was like Aloreh. I think that the people who told you that are just like, because most of the players that still remain are V1 Itheri or like pure blood Itheri, and are definitely giving you a tug.
I mean, I heard Ithero used to always kill Aloreh.
Everyone killed Aloreh, and Aloreh killed literally everyone.
So
So-
wait, people were killing Aloreh noobs, but they were really like,
Oh yeah, I actually I'll send you another screenshot here. I was one of the I had one of the highest kill counts in the game, and I only know this due to V2's kill count tally. But I have hundreds of pictures of people calling me obscenities, but I also have a couple of really nostalgic pictures of some of my favorite players who just, you know, this is the Aloreh player Conrad that I just sent you,
Okay.
screaming for help, of me killing him in his own town.
So you're saying
Yeah,
that
there's-
Aloreh was really the strongest nation?
Numerically, it was 100%. Skill-wise, it wasn't 100% because every nation had a solid PvP base. I think the only exceptions were, I mean, Vrovona was one of the exceptions because the only people that played in Vrovona were people who couldn't spell any other nation capital name. That was kind of one of the memes. Is just like, oh, you can't pronounce any of these names. Pick Vrovona.
Wait, what's Vorona's capital name actually?
Yes, it's Vrovona.
Oh,
It was the nation of Vrovona was founded by Vrovona the god, who named his entire kingdom after himself.
sounds like a very.
He was a
conceited
warrior
individual.
king who didn't believe in magic. And this is where I decided to play Conduit, was because I heard that and was like, fuck that, I'm gonna play a mage. But yeah, no.
Go against the grain. I like it. So
Well, I
let me-
mean that and Fireball V1, and everyone was sleeping on it. Everyone was sleeping on it. There was, I think, two mages that did PvP in the entire nation of Vrovona, and that was me and Ghostwalker. And as soon as I swapped onto it, it actually got nerfed.
Oh.
Yeah, I started PvPing with it, and people kept complaining, and then I beat the leader of the PvP town, which I'm going to take you to next if you want to follow me.
Yeah. Okay.
We're gonna pass by a. Oh, okay. Well, we'll take a quick stop here at Dreg because this is the most nostalgic town in V1.
What is it called? Dreghorn?
Dreghorn, yeah.
Okay,
This
yeah, I recognize
was
that name
the
as well.
noob town of Ravona.
Okay, so this is where
And-
all the people, the new players, would come and just, start their life out here.
Yep. At least for the most part, there was near the end, the town owner Hypefish ended up kind of quitting.
Yeah.
But like before that, this was the town to be in if you were a player for Ravona.
It's kind of a small town.
Well, it's bigger in the back. I'll tell you that now. So the way it worked originally is you had this area which just was plots where people could build their houses.
Oh, so this is the housing section, and I guess that's like the
Yep.
main town square,
Yep,
whatever you
that
want to
was-
call it.
100%. It was the keep was for if the town was being raided, everyone could go there and be safe.
Oh,
and then-
okay, that makes sense.
The back here was just to shelter the noobs in case PvPers didn't know about this area. The biggest issue though is Vrovona started getting camped really hard by everyone. We had PvP at one point. It was PvP 100% of the time for 3 straight weeks.
Wait, what was that? I thought it was only on Wednesdays. When did this happen?
Oh no, this was before Vorsk turned off the PvP. Like back in the day, PvP was you could choose to have it on or off
Yeah.
all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and most of Ravona basically agreed to have it on. and there was one point, and this is actually why they added the like days where there was no PvP and all that, was because of Vrovona. We had a point where there was not a single moment where we were not being raided by one nation or another for 3 weeks.
Oh,
I
so you guys
remember
were
this.
targets. Jesus.
I would go to sleep at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I would wake up. It would be like the weekend, right? I would wake up. We would still be being raided by a different group of people, and I would get on and I would fight, and then by the end of the day, we would still be fighting in our nation.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of rage quitting happened.
Oh yes, it did.
And a lot of items lost.
Oh yes.
Do you like?
I mean, I never lost anything because all I did was I ran around with a stick.
And just fireball.
Yeah, Conduit didn't really need anything besides a stick.
Yeah, I do remember that, and it was like just all you needed was a gold helmet and then the rest of leather armor, right?
Oh no. You literally didn't have to wear armor.
Really?
Pigify and web were all you needed. All right, so this is the PvP town, originally called Svelti Slanko. There you are.
You're gonna have to send me that name so I don't spell it wrong.
Yeah, no worries. Svelti Slanko, and its leader was Zorozini. This was the PvP town of Vrovona.
Yeah, because I actually remember on my Monus Roth video, and I seen that Zorozini and his crew made a McDonald's. The inevitable salad, happy MMP, I don't know what that is. Giant roots, I don't know what the hell that is. Double Hans, and Zorro Weenie hot dogs. Well, this is definitely Vrovona though. But no, I remember seeing the McDonald's in Monus Roth, like just in the middle of nowhere.
Yep.
And like
that was the McDonald's, right?
There was multiple actually, because there was one in Ithero. There's like a video of that.
Yeah, it was an entire. They went around to every nation. That was actually that was the day I joined.
Oh really? That's a lot. Damn.
McDonald's was the day I joined.
That's crazy.
So I'll tell you right now, everything behind this house is actually new, and all the stuff from in this little square of housing, this was the original town.
Okay.
And this is what I mean. Like I said earlier, a lot of Vrovona is sort of completely different from what it was, and the download kind of did Vrovona dirty. Is the entire nation was reforming and expanding, all of that stuff.
And this is from the server down. Okay, this is like from like this like the re-download of the server.
Yeah. So what happened is near the end of V1, they were basically just like, okay, we're going to allow everyone to grief everything. And this is actually the event that happened at the very end of V1. We're going to allow everyone to grief everything. So right now, we're going to do a world download. Or we did a world download. And everyone was like, are you serious? You did a world download now?
Yeah, what the hell? Why don't you do that beforehand?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I remember that event vividly.
Yeah. This entire town was basically piggybacked off of Zorozini being the player to beat. He wasn't very good, but he was iconic.
That's a pretty toxic take right there, my guy.
I 1v1 them as a conduit, and he mained Hell Knight, which had fire resistance, and my only damage was fireball. I'm not saying he's trash. He said it himself.
Oh, okay. Well, I do remember Zorozini being kind of like a big PvP name here. Like, again, I didn't really talk to any of these guys.
He was. So, the way that Vrovona worked is we had a system where we had the Paragon, who was the head of the nation, with the exception of Optimus Dung and our original leader. Most of our leaders really didn't participate in any PvP. And the, I don't remember her name, the female who had the red mating class. But besides them, none of our nation heads ever PvP'd per se. And, I mean, I'll get into it a little later, but Vrovona basically fell apart at some point.
Yeah, the downfall of Vrovona. I would definitely want to hear about that. That would sound very interesting.
Zoro was basically the unofficial nation head, and there was one other person who I'll take you there now. The other most iconic town in Vrovona, Nation's Market. There's not really too much to look at on the surface. Like I said, so near the end, most of the Vrovona buildings sort of got torn down. A lot of towns just got straight up deleted, like this one that we're getting to now, which is Frost Lake.
Mhm.
You can still see the remnants of it in the water. This was the biggest market on the server.
Frost
And
Lake
it was
Market, yeah. You know what's crazy?
was-
I think my Roreg Logh town is actually like maybe a couple hundred blocks away from this, and this is where we used to go here. And this is the market
Oh no,
I was
you guys
talking about.
are on the other side of the map.
Oh,
Yeah, you guys are on the other side of the map.
but no, we were a
There
small island.
is one thing standing from the original Frost Lake. If you want to TP to me.
No,
This
actually,
was
but
the
we
house
were
of
on a
the
small
mayor.
island, like away from Roreg Logh.
Oh, okay.
So we were like really close. So we used to go here all the time.
This was the house of the town's leader. I don't remember his name, but he was a good buddy of mine. Him and the assistant Blinding Kid were, pretty cool people. They moved everything of value into here, and they were about to rework the entire town. And they were pissed because they had just finished tearing down the whole town when the announcement of the download was a thing.
Oh, and they were doing
just
that they were doing that just for the server download.
No, they were rebuilding the town so that they could like reorganize everything.
Oh, and
I just thought
then
I'd bring
they
you down here
announced that
just
the
for
server
all
was
valuables
ending.
work.
Oh,
If you like just peep into some of these chests, like it doesn't look like much, but some of the items in here you basically only found here.
slime balls, Jesus Christ! So these guys were the ultimate.
Yeah, and there's thousands
Merchants.
of items are missing though because they
Close.
like I said, were transferring and such. Here you go.
Hello.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
We're doing all right. Just in the middle of doing a YouTube video showing Matt around.
Yep.
Fancy. Am I interrupting voice chat here? Pardon? Am I interrupting? A little bit. I will leave then. You guys have a good night. Take it easy.
Take it easy, man. Well,
I'm assuming you're gonna cut that out.
that was actually kind of funny. I don't know.
Oh wait, going a little too high here.
But yeah, this
We
is
get out of
this is actually a nice little town. So you're saying that basically they were about to rebuild the town, Frost Lake,
Yep.
right? And
So Frost Lake had hundreds of plots to have stores on.
yeah,
And at one point, they wanted to rebuild. By the way, if you see the heads in this house, these are admin heads. Like this one. This is Vorsk's head from
oh,
V1.
what? So rare.
That's okay. I have like 3 of them.
What?
I'll show you those later.
Actually, we gotta go to your old town. We gotta check that out.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take you there. I'm just showing you a few things before we head on over.
So so
Um,
basically, with this Frost Lake town, you can buy an embassy plot from any nation and open your own shop.
Okay, so the way that it worked is, they really only sold them to Vrovonics or other people who had a trade license.
Trade license.
The trade licenses were officiated by Frost Lake in tandem with the Paragon. So essentially, you had to not be a PvPer to have a shop. Hopefully, I
So it's kind of
remember where it is
exclusive.
back here. Yeah, but it had the most items on the server. There was like mob eggs. There was, lots of little. Although I'm just gonna fly ahead and see if I can find it.
Mob eggs. Wait, so how did they get those?
Mob eggs, I think at one point they were spawned in, like early in year 1. They were spawned in by admins and given out to players at some point.
Oh, okay. Yeah, cause I remember it was a really, really big market. That's kind of crazy. I really wanted to see that, cause like that actually would bring about a lot of memories that I had. Just going there. I used to go there all the time.
It was also, it was the place for PvP. So if you look in front of where Frost Lake is, I don't know if you're still over there, but I'm assuming you are.
I'm not.
In front of Frost Lake there's the bridge. That
Yeah.
bridge had more PvP than most of the nations had.
Yeah, yeah. I actually do remember seeing a video from that.
Yep.
Some people like it was like I think it was a Vrovona military channel or something like that, and there were like a bunch of PvP fights on there.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's wild. I do remember that.
Yeah, because people would come to trade, right? And you would have PvP groups catch them on the way and then kill them, and we would all go to fight. Anyway, if you want to TP to me, I'm going to show you the town of Amaterasu.
Amaterasu? Somebody was a
Amaterasu.
Naruto fan.
So, Amaterasu, and I'm just starting us off at the Shrine of the Brown. The Brown Wool.
Because people love
this
that.
was the town of Optimus Dung, who was the nation head who lasted the longest, minus our first one. Well, I never met the first one, but I met Optimus, and yeah, he was a really cool guy. He was not the best PvPer, but he PvP'd when he had to, and basically everyone respected him. He's the guy, and we'll get back to this caste system that I keep bringing up for Vrovona. He's the guy that appointed Zoro and Red Rocket as the generals.
Oh, okay. And so he was just kind of like a loner in this town right here.
No, he had a few people, but it was mostly just him and his really close friends. Just a couple of the ladies of Vrovona.
Oh, so he's a ladies' man.
The best way I can put it.
He's a ladies' man.
Oh, he was a ladies' man. That's absolutely correct.
Oh, he had a whole bunch of e-girls in this little these Japanese style houses.
I mean, there were a couple of e-boys too, but yeah, for the most part.
Oh, this might get age restricted. But yeah,
super cool guy, fantastic leader. He is, again, the reason why Vrovona Chat 4 still exists on this Discord. He popularized Vrovona Chat 4 as the Chat of Brown, which was of the brown wool. Yeah, he's the one who basically shaped what was Vrovona from the middle to end of V1 all the way until V3 or Evo or whatever it is.
So so he's been leader of Vrovona since till V3.
No. He quit in V1.
Oh.
But the impact of what he did for Vrovona lasted that long. Like the amount of like things he did as nation leader weren't too grand, but he was always super charismatic, like with Zoro, super charismatic, always in chat, talking to people, inspiring people, giving them confidence. I know the first day that I officially joined the voice chats, him and Sanders actually were talking to me, and I was about to quit because I had just joined and been living on the side of the road for 2 weeks.
We gonna need some more history behind that, but yeah, continue.
But yeah, I mean, my first day in chat, him and Sanders basically just talked me into staying and got me really inspired to play. And I'm glad they did, because I love this server.
Don't we like we all?
I'm gonna TP you over to my town. I'll be right back. That's when you cut the video, Bob.
Yep. But you know I do this thing, man. I've been doing this thing for years.
I got you. I'm getting those good transitions in there. Hey, spiced. So, back at the entrance of Frost Lake here, and this is why this spot specifically was so popular. By the way, the bridge itself was so popular because you couldn't get off of it because there was always fences, and this used to be a small gate that led to a bridge into Frost Lake. But on the other side of Frost Lake was another one of our PvP towns.
Okay, so he forgot to show me this guy. So
this town was notorious for its traps. This town had managed to kill entire raid parties. It was led by 2 Dutch people, I believe, named Roth and Hans. They're Dutch or German or one of the Nordic countries. But yeah, Roth and Hans, long-term players, super good players, super cool guys.
So I kind of want to see one of these traps. Like, what would these traps and like what would that entail?
I mean, the one I don't know if I can actually show you any of them because I think breaking blocks isn't allowed. But I will show you where one of the traps is.
I know redstone is like literally broken, so. It might not be
Yeah.
possible.
So there used to be a cactus trap on these stairs going up here. So you would like cactus trap, I think this block right here, and then it would open up and you get stuck on a cactus and just die.
And you can't, but I mean, that wouldn't really work on like roads or anything like that because it can just jump out or spell thieves for that matter.
No, you were blocked by a wire, I think. Anyway, wait, where? I was literally just at 1 sec down. I gotta go down again.
Wait, where are you?
The front door. 1 second. Out of it net. Right here. Side you to your left. Down.
Okay.
So this is the front. This is the front, right? This used to be a trap. I don't know if they were forced to fill this in, but this used to be a lava trap.
Oh, I see it.
And then inside here, there was another lava trap. Inside this room specifically, you would be locked in, and the whole floor fell out from under you.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. Or it might be above. I don't know. Lava was in this room. People died.
Oh, well, no, it's up here. The lava's right here.
Oh.
Yeah, it's up here. Oh my God. Okay, yeah, that's
Yep.
definitely that's crazy. I'm surprised more people didn't really kind of like adopt these kind of things. Like,
Well, the biggest problem is classes countered it. Like Hell Knight countered the lava traps.
yeah,
And then, say for example, something like a conduit could just blink for like the cactus traps and stuff. But yeah, this town also had Vrovona's largest dark room. It was a 10-story dark room that was under the water. I already discovered though that it was forcibly filled in when the rules on dark changed.
yeah, like because that's kind of comparable to the one at Sanctum, because like they had a
Yep.
huge pyramid, and
That's
then they
that's
got.
what it was modeled after.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah,
kind of miss it. Like, I would love to see like these dark rooms in its prime, because like that those were
I
just
know.
crazy.
I know. I wish. I mean, there was like it would be like a few hundred mobs that just didn't move, and the reason being is because the TPS was so bad for the server that the mobs just could not move. Unfortunately, unfortunately they fixed that. I'd say because you used to be able to PvP really easily, but the problem was mobs wouldn't attack you, and they wanted to change that.
Yeah,
Changed it, and I'll be honest, I like the old system.
you like the old system or the new system?
I like the old system. I preferred the mobs the way they were. I preferred classes at tier 2.
Tier 2, yeah, you're really old school. I like tier 3 was probably the best. Tier 4 is kind of when it got a little bit too much.
Tier 3 had its own problems. Specifically, Hell Knight and Paladin were pretty annoying.
Oh yeah, I hated Paladin. Jesus
Death
Christ.
from Above. Death from Above was really annoying.
Bro, I remember I was a charlatan and that shit used to never work. Maybe I wasn't really good, so I couldn't. Like that
So,
super jump.
Do you remember the picture I sent you a few minutes ago?
Yeah.
That picture of that person who was freaking out? That was on the tower, or the big railways they had essentially above Aloreh. So Aloreh used to have these things where you would you would super jump off of it, and then you would death from above, and as you came down, oh my goodness. I'm so sorry for what's going to happen to you in a second. But people would like super jump death from above, and it would one-shot whoever was below you on those walkways.
I wasn't death from above, like it was an AoE as well.
Yeah. Anyway, you want to TP to me?
Go ahead. Alright, this guy might crash me.
Alright. So I started out here first just because it'll be easier to load. This is the ice road that came out to 3 different places. My town is this one, so I'll show you this one first.
Oh,
this was the home of Carl the Magus. Carl the Alien, Magus of Death. I can't even open the door here because there's no way to, unfortunately. But my city was basically lined with a hallway of heads. And the entirety of my city is lined with heads.
Oh, let me see this. So you were just killing everybody. Jesus Christ.
I PvP'd all day, every day. I, unfortunately, am not an admin, so I can't get into the original hallway. Actually, no, this block is broken. Never mind, we can.
Hold on, where? I need to see this.
You
probably might see my head in here, honestly.
TP to me.
Oh my goodness. This is just crazy.
Yeah, so I really enjoyed PvPing.
I can see that. Like, who is this? You just harassed this person.
Oh no, that's not even a lot.
You harassed this guy. Look at this guy. You have so many heads. You should.
No, that's not a lot. I promise you, that's not a lot.
Jesus Christ. You need to be banned.
Literally just turn the corner, you see the exact same amount of heads.
Jesus Christ. Who is this?
I don't even know. Most of these people are just 2 megalols to me.
Oh my God. This is crazy. Yep. This is really impressive, but really scary. I'm glad I wasn't from Vrovona, cause.
Oh no! If you were from Vrovona, you would have been fine. I didn't nation kill very often, unless people challenged me to PvP.
So how where would you rank yourself amongst like the PvPers of Vrovona?
So, and I was gonna tell you this earlier when I was talking about the sort of caste system of the nation. These are my 2 duck guards.
Oh, you think you're from Ithero, huh?
I was promoted as a tier 2 during the tier 3 age. I was promoted to assistant general.
Damn.
In the first couple weeks that I started PvP. There's not really much to this town. These are the houses my cousins built, my ex-girlfriend built, and my mage tower.
Okay.
We'll bring the tour back over here just so we can get a good place. But yeah, these ones around the start here, these are actually Vrovonics. Superfly, Tiger.
Jesus, there's more of them.
This small little building here. I made a lot of little shrines around my town. This is where the 2 1v1s I had with Zorozini, where I killed him. His head turned into a skeleton, unfortunately, but both of those were his head at one point.
So there's more of them in this house? Is this your house?
Yeah, no, this is my head hall.
You have more?
Yeah.
Look at this. This is crazy.
I got the very first Stone King head on the entire server. I killed a lot of people. It's 3 stories tall, and there's more. Down here is my shrine to Vrovona.
No, you're big on shrines.
Unfortunately, I didn't complete it. It's still a work in progress at the time. Just back when I was a kid. Like, I was not very good at building.
Yeah, this looks like something from Ar-Selukk. You got the sand, the stone. I mean, I like it.
I want it to be like, I don't know. As a kid, I just wanted things to look like cool. I didn't really care about. I wasn't very good at building, and I didn't really know what to do for most of it. But yeah, I was also I was building this room to be another head hall. I had these two entire things are filled with items I only PvP'd off of people. Both of these buildings here, all items I PvP'd off of people. And my most notorious PvP kills and items are actually down here in this little cubby.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see this.
You can see there's some pretty... I mean, lots of it is just like... I ended up running out of space, so I just had to start throwing items in here. But, like, you see there's, like, a bunch of books in this chest I'm in. There's, like,
Why You Do This by Carlthealien. Me and Myself. So, he was also a writer, you guys.
Pardon?
I said you are also a writer.
Yep.
As well as the PvP.
I'm a lover and a fighter.
Man, this is crazy. I'm really impressed. I'm really impressed.
Oh, we're not even at the best part.
Oh.
I mean, minus, the heads and all the chests of items filled with people that I've murdered over the years. Actually, I'll take you to these shrines before we go to the Peace Aloreh stalls. This is my headroom for the Winter Song heads.
Winter Song heads.
I will get to them in literally 1 minute after I show you my tower.
So not many of Winter Songs.
These guys were spooky.
I can tell. I was about to say, like, the Winter Song, like, I know there's a lot of really good PvPers in Winter Song, so I didn't know if you got that many heads from them.
These were my famous people from Ithero room head collection. I just put one of each in here. And then this one was all the Vrovonics who ever challenged me to a 1v1 and immediately lost.
Jesus
Vrovonics
Christ.
really shouldn't have challenged me to 1v1s. It was not a good idea for them.
Oh, okay.
Never worked well. people just didn't understand how to not die. I don't know. Now
And this
we'll
is
get
all
the
as a
fatal
conduit, right?
resistance.
This is all as a conduit.
All conduit, yeah.
And conduit was a tier 2, correct?
Tier 3.
Tier 3.
When I was a tier 2, I was a vagabond, I think. So yeah, this is like the place I enchanted all my hoes. Yeah, just mostly.
You have enchanted hoes.
Of course I got enchanted hose. What else would I have?
This man's a pimp.
Non-enchanted hose? Oh, I didn't even finish all my books. Unfortunately. Should have wrote more. Well, anyway. This is my bedroom. And this was the place I kept my admin heads. I have admin heads in that chest there, and I have a Vorsk head in the corner here. I don't know what happened to my other ones. I think I gave them.
So, like, what is that story with Vorsk? Like, how did you even get to fight him? Because, like, I thought he would be in admin mode most of the time.
No, so sometimes admins would go AFK and forget to turn on their protection.
Oh, so you just snuck in and got the kill.
Well, not snuck in as much as walked up to the front door, knocked, and said, "Hello, motherfuckers." I know I have a picture of him in V1. I trapped him in a cage.
This man trapped. Listen, this man trapped the head admin of one of the biggest servers ever in a cage, and lived to tell the tale.
Oh yeah.
This man's a legend.
No, yeah.
This man is
Vorsk,
a legend.
Vorsk was a pretty good buddy. I pressed the wrong button. Vorsk was a pretty good buddy of mine.
You still talk to him?
Not anymore. I think he sort of just doesn't want anything to do with Atheres anymore. So I think he's basically just distanced himself. But I do see him log on to WoW every so often. Because I have him added on WoW, so.
Okay. I was just trying to contact Voice to see if I can get him off one of these, but I don't know about that.
I'll try PMing him at some point and see what I can do.
Maybe get like an interview. I know that will get like a lot of people. I think a lot of people want to see that.
This is one of the remnants from the McDonald's raid there.
Oh my god! I have to see one of these McDonald's before we get off. This is like.
So, I don't think there was one in Vrovona, but I know that was a skin used by one of the people who was actually like. That's not the skin itself, but the person who wore that skin was there for the raid. But yeah, that's me. After the first gentleman, whose name I don't remember, there was the Red Maiden class, which was the most broken Paragon class in the game, and was abused by the lady who owned it. Then you had it go back to being Paragon for Optimus Dung, and after Optimus left, the entire nation of Vrovona fell apart because essentially we went through like 2 or 3 different people. We went through like 2 admins, a player named Scotland, who was a fantastically funny individual, but unfortunately being, an aggressive Scottish man, didn't hold his tongue and ended up getting excommunicated. Called people pussies on the forum or something.
Oh my god. I know there was a lot of fuckery on the forums. I do remember that.
And yeah, we had, and this is where things actually 100% fell apart, was when out of every candidate who was possibly, able to be the Paragon, once it was boiled down to Zorozini and Blanket, they both competed at one point to try to become nation head, because Blanket wanted to be it because she was actually responsible, and Zoro wanted it because he was sort of power hungry at that point. And that's sort of where things came to a climax for Vrovona, and was actually about the end of E1.
There's a lot of drama there. I can see that.
Really,
people were trying to one up each other.
Yeah. And then admins had to step in, and basically Vrovona was incapable of getting a new nation head up until V2 got underway, and then one of the mods stepped in to become Paragon. Or they removed the way that nation heads work, so it was like the nation heads, the idea of the classes got removed.
And so basically, nation head was almost like.
And then it just became a title.
Yeah.
Right. Rather than being a title with power, it became a mod with a title, essentially.
Yeah, and that makes sense. That's how it should be. It shouldn't be these classes, these overpowered classes.
I'll be real. I disagree.
You think so?
Just yeah, I 100%
Well, I mean, I feel
disagree.
like if there's someone that should like that uses this class, it shouldn't be someone that PvPs a lot. It should be like an implied rule
I
that it only should be a person. They only should be allowed to fight in like really big
I
fights or something like
also
that.
I also disagree with that. I think they shouldn't be allowed to rogue raid, obviously. Okay, now that we're finally here, I'm just gonna tell you this was actually one of the noob towns that was built before the end of the server. I wanted to bring you here because I remembered it. I don't remember the name though. But the walls of this town were built to try to counter super jump, and then super jump full countered this wall, and it was really annoying because they increased the jump.
Super
height,
jump was like 50
increased it.
blocks.
Yeah. Also, it's cascading outwards to try to combat them jumping up and then pressing forward.
That's actually pretty smart, but I mean, in theory, but I don't know. I feel like super
Unfortunately.
jump, it would still kind of.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like it probably could work, but I don't know.
But yeah, so the way that I view nation heads, just getting back to that, so like the way that I saw it, and it really worked, was when a leader was a PvPer but didn't actively rogue raid people.
Yeah.
Rogue raiding being the coin term for when you would not go in a large raid. And I'm only saying this because my most memorable times on Atheres were when I was combating against or with a nation head. I remember battles in Monas Roth with Keems. I remember basically every single event I've ever fought Carter Jennings in. I remember fighting alongside Optimus. And while these people were PvPers, they didn't go around rogue raiding.
Yeah, and that's what I kind of meant.
That.
Like they're only allowed in like kind of like larger scale fights, and stuff like that. And I didn't. That's what I really meant. And so that it should be like almost like a rule. Like they're not allowed to just go and solo raid and all that stuff and attack noobs. It's only
they tried to make it a rule and it didn't really work out.
Cause like that's
when they made it a rule, it actually got worse.
Okay, well that's just something we can't control at this point. Like people are gonna do what they want to do, but like that should be a rule. You're only allowed to use if you're a nation head, you're only supposed to fight in meaningful battles that have like multiple people, and just not solo raid and attacking noobs, because then that's just abuse. Okay, is there anything else you wanted to show me? Okay.
I know there's a few towns out who needs here. You just random builds.
This looks like the end of Vrovona here.
Yeah, it pretty much is. The entire like cascading little islands going up north. This is all Vrovona technically, but people sort of stopped counting it after it disconnected from mainland. So I mean, people would move out here, but it would be people who never used the Discord or anything. Vrovona was always a really tight-knit group. And we really had to be because of how often we were being attacked and how few players we had coming into the nation.
Yeah, it's it's a very niche-based community. If you really like snow and ice and all that stuff and this kind of environment,
also, a lot of our players were not the most mature individuals, myself included. As much as I would hate to admit that on a public video, I can obviously admit that myself, along with basically everyone else, were just not mature at the time.
How old were you when you played?
I joined the server when I was like 12 or 13.
Same here. So I mean, I wasn't the most mature either. I mean, we were all young when we played the server, so I mean, it's not like a big deal, to be honest.
I mean, I'll be real. There's things I wish I could take back from V1. A lot of the negative stuff, the drama-filled stuff. I wish I could take. I cannot believe it. Oh my goodness! I found Winter Song.
Winter Song, the old Winter Song.
I found the original Winter Song.
Actually, hold on.
You, sir, should TP to me.
Yes.
I did not think I would find this.
So this is the original Winter Song before they moved to Vrovona.
Before you go in, though, I will preface by saying the only way to get here, actually, because they used to have another building in front of the town, was by a little bridge that went across these two mountains.
Okay.
And then, as you would come up to start attacking Winter Song, I mean, they had a bot which basically alarmed them, and this entire front area used to be a trap.
You were saying that in the beginning of the video that they had like they had macros and stuff like that. Wouldn't that be considered hacking or?
It was, yes.
So how? Oh, yeah, and they didn't get banned because of. Okay.
They didn't get caught for it for a very long time.
They ended up they ended up getting banned, correct?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think one of them got banned, and I think the rest of them they sort of just left. But the only problem is their influence basically was there forever due to the HeroCraft players who joined after them. Players, notably players like Yo-I-Yo. I'm sort of spacing out on most of the rest of the names because they weren't.
I think I remember some of these names because I actually played HeroCraft a little bit. But yeah, I mean, yep. I know. I thought it was a bunch of. I always thought it was a collection of really good Atheros PvPers.
No, the HeroCraft players were players from different factions on HeroCraft who had just come to Atheros and all started working together.
And so that was basically the HeroCraft invasion, basically.
Yes.
So do you think so objectively, do you believe that HeroCraft PvPers are better than Atheros PvPers, like overall?
I don't think there's a doubt. I think the way that I view it is all of those players from HeroCraft factions players, and half of the people here on Atheros were role players or builders, or they weren't PvPers. And even most of the PvPers, most people that I know, learned to PvP on Atheros, or Atheros was their first server.
Yeah.
But with HeroCraft, they had to deal with factions, and most people never had to deal with factions. I used to be a faction player before I joined Atheros, so I sort of had a leg up there, but even I struggled to deal with some of the things that HeroCraft players could do. Namely, I didn't know at the time, but namely it was the scripting.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I would say generally the player level or skill level PvP-wise was just undoubtedly better because you had to be a PvPer on HeroCraft.
Yeah, I can agree with that. And I mean, I definitely had, like, when I played on there was a lot of really good guys on there. But I mean, I don't really know a lot of the people from Atheros that well, so it could be because I remember there was a lot of guys of on Atheros, East of Nowhere, Ithero. Those guys are like really, really good. And I remember when I was it was on the test server, I think in the kind of in the transition between V1 to V2.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, and I remember they were always online. I would be PvPing with them, and like even though I would get my ass killed every time, I got a little bit better each time PvPing with them.
Yep. Yeah. I know specifically the best players from HeroCraft, and I'll compare them with East of Nowhere.
And was he one of the best on the server?
East of Nowhere?
Yeah.
He was probably one of the best Atheros players. I don't think he was the best Atheros player, but that's just because I'm biased towards myself, because I was a conduit main who fought with a carrot and a stick and still managed to kill fully geared people.
So you think you're the best you're the best on the server?
Yeah, obviously no. I would say undoubtedly the best player overall was probably between Yo-I-Yo, the HeroCraft player, and Shizdog, the HeroCraft player.
Oh yeah, I did hear about Shizdog.
Yeah, Shizdog was in V2 when they did the kill chart. At first, he was the person on top. I took over because I'm a fucking troglodyte. But yeah, Shizdog was definitely one of the. Shizdog and Yo-I-Yo were definitely like two of the best players on the server. I would say you could add players in their prime. You could add Goddess, Schmet.
That was a girl, right?
Pardon?
She was a girl, right? It was a girl, right?
Goddess? Yes.
Oh.
She was a really good PvPer, but most of her PvPing was rogue raids. I mean, Chad McCoy and Maria were pretty good. Noldak was pretty good. Red Banana Boat was really good. It sort of depends. Like, a lot of people fell off, or like a lot of people weren't in their prime, or people sort of fell off due to patch changes for classes. So over the years, like, my opinion on people changed, but the most consistent players over the time that they were playing, at least just in terms of full-on consistency, are Shizdog and Yo-Ayo. I don't think they ever stopped being good at a class due to patch changes.
Okay.
Another really, really, really good player was Jupiter Rome. He was an Ar-Selukk player who joined towards Evo. So sort of some up in the air about that. I don't really know. If he had been here in V1, I'm sure he would have been able to place himself pretty high, but fortunately he wasn't.
Okay.
And then I could go on all day.
Yeah,
I know, a lot of
I know you can, man. But yeah, we only have.
I'll be honest. I really respect and admire a lot of the people that I've played with. I learned a lot personally, like not Minecraft wise, but a lot personally from a lot of the PvPers, because you would fight and you would go and talk, and a lot of the interactions helped me grow as a person from all the shenanigans.
Yeah, and that's like kind of a common theme with a lot of people. Like, Atheros wasn't just a server; it was something. It was like a place where like you can like.
Yeah, it was a home.
Yeah, it was basically a home. It provided something for us to do, but it helped us grow. Like, and I touched on this a lot. Like, it's a lot. Like there was a lot of growth, like playing on this server, and dealing with all the drama, all the good times, all the memories. Like, it kind of shapes you, especially when you spend so long on here. Yeah. But yeah, I think this is where we're gonna end it off, man. It was a great talk. It was great talking with you, man.
Great talking.
There was a lot of stuff in this video. I don't know if I'm gonna add it in there or not, but
no worries. And I'll tell you right now, if the server was if the server was saved in a state where it was more in its prime, we could have gone farther into detail with everything. There's so much that I couldn't even show you about Vrovona, and there's so many stories that I don't even know. And I mean, hell, there's hundreds of players over the years who all have their own story of it. So I'm sure if you ever do like a recap or redo of these, I'm sure you could find players who can give you a much more in-depth or different story than I could have given you.
Yeah, but I mean, you were pretty in-depth, man. Like,
Yeah.
You were pretty good, man. I like having you as a guest, man. I really appreciate it. But with that said, I like to have my host in the camera with me when I
appreciate being able to go over some of my old memories.
Yeah, I'll link you this video when it comes out. Where are you at? Where you at?
Where am I at? I'm just bouncing around on Winter Songs walls.
Well, I like having my tour guides in the camera when I do my outros.
All right, let's do it in the Court of Winter Song here.
Court of Winter
next to the big old shield.
This is actually a really small town. I didn't expect it to be this small.
I mean, it was only like 6 players.
And they just took over the server like this. Jesus.
And they completely swamped the server, yeah.
Oh my god. Well, with that said, this is Commando signing out. We got carlthealien here, man. I really appreciate you coming on and helping me out and showing me around Vrovona. I wish there was more to see. But, it is what it is,
That's life.
That's life, man.
You live, you change, you grow.
Yep. And with that, I'm going to sign off. This Commando Play signing off, and peace.
I really enjoyed PvPing.
I can see that. Like, who is this? You just harassed this person.